Good morning, Sheila. How are you today?
Wayne, good morning. I'm really good. How about yourself?
I am doing great, thank you. It's always fun to be ready for our podcast. I like
Yes,
this.
I do too.
Yes, and welcome everyone to 27 Minutes with Sheila and Wayne, where we explore the fascinating world of verbs and their impact on our daily lives. Join us each week as we delve into the different ways verbs shape our language and influence our interactions, as we attempt to make a positive difference in our world, one verb at a time. And this is episode number 95.
95.
Wow. And Sheila, what is our verb for today?
Today's verb is to dream, which is one I was very excited about researching. So I'll give the first two definitions and turn it over to you for the rest.
Okay.
To experience dreams during sleep or images, events, and feelings is number one. Number two is to indulge in daydreams or fantasies about something greatly desired.
Oh, to indulge. I like that one. Wow. Okay. And I have four. I
Okay.
have I have five.
All right.
One's very close to what you said, so I won't say it. But the other four, and because dream is, I'm not sure there's many definitions, so they're all
Mm-hmm.
close. But here we
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
To experience events and images in your mind while you are sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
To imagine that you have heard, done, or seen something when you have not.
Oh,
The boogeyman in the corner because the
uh,
closet door is open.
okay.
I saw that many times.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh no, I'm afraid. To imagine something that you would like to happen. And my
Okay.
last one, to desire something very much and hope that it happens. So all pretty close, but
Yeah.
yes, gosh. And Sheila, where can our listeners find you?
Thank you, Wayne. I can be reached at zekeandsheila@yahoo.com.
And I can be reached at Wayne at mindsyncing.com. All emails negative, come to me. All emails positive,
Positive.
go to Sheila.
We do share.
We do, we do. And hey, what were your thoughts because I think I pulled this verb out of the gelato
You did?
container the other, maybe a few days ago. And so here's the word. What was your first thoughts on this verb?
Yay. My first thought was, this is going to be great.
Yes, and mine too. My first thoughts about Dream, I was excited. I was so excited. I'm still excited today. I think you can hear it in my voice
I
right now
can,
because
yes.
I can't wait to just open it up and let everything come out.
Okay.
And I couldn't wait to start looking for information. And such a fun verb. Who doesn't dream, right?
Well,
I-
yes. But I want to say, when you say who doesn't dream, there are two directions you can go with that. Are you talking about dreaming during sleep, or are you talking about setting goals?
oh, okay. I'm going to say both.
Okay.
I be, and I'm going to take the path today of setting goals.
Very good. Then I'm going to do a touch on that a little bit, because I figured you in your life path and your career um, can give great advice about setting goals. So I'm going to go more towards the sleeping dreams,
Oh, okay. All right.
but I'm going to touch on some goal setting too.
Okay, excellent. Because I daydream every day. I do daydreams as well as night dreams, but I daydream
Okay.
every day. And when I do my routine exercise of walking, I dream, I think, I
Mm.
prepare for what is to come for the rest of the day and tomorrow. And truth be told, I dreamed about doing this podcast while on a walk over about 2 years ago. And
Oh.
voila, here we are coming up on our second anniversary of this podcast in 2 months.
One of the things that I was reading about dreaming is to surround yourself with people who encourage you to dream big. And so you are one of those people, or look for people who dream bigger than you do. So thank you for including me in your dream here.
Well, and I thank you for that. And absolutely, golly, you're smart, you're intelligent, you have a lot of information, a lot of experience. You bring a wealth of information to this podcast. And as my buddy X would tell you, would tell everyone, you make us sound good, and it's still true.
Well, let's move on. I get embarrassed.
And okay, now I'm gonna go do an opposite here real quick.
Okay.
Some of the nightmares that I have ever had during the day, and I guess
Okay.
you can call them
Oh.
I guess you can call them day mirrors, right? But
Okay.
nightmares,
Yeah.
is looking back and seeing someone else is doing what I had dreamed of doing.
Oh.
And for whatever reason, I didn't follow through on those dreams.
Oh.
And so I go, "Ah, I thought of that like 4 years ago. Why didn't I do that?"
Mm.
Because somebody has always talked me out of, oh, well, that's a bad idea because of this. I'm like,
Ah.
I don't know how to implement all the dreams. I just come up with them.
Interesting.
Yes. So anyway, um, I have two articles that I'm going to talk about. One is called "What is in Your Dream" or "What is Your Dream," and it
Okay.
and it talks about 5 common reasons why people have trouble identifying their dreams, or,
Okay.
as you said, goals. And then I have
Right.
one that vision is the spectacular that inspires us to carry out the mundane. And I thought, wow, okay. And they talk about
Okay.
5 steps to achieve your life's goals as you have always dreamt them. So,
Ah.
okay,
Can I
cool.
give you a quick anonymous quote as you're introducing that?
Absolutely.
Goals are just dreams with deadlines.
Goals are just dreams with deadlines. I like that.
I did too, and I can't tell you who first said it, so I
Okay.
apologize for that.
And I guess that's where my my nightmare would come if I'm getting close to that in stage where I'm supposed to have this done by tomorrow and I didn't do it. Oh, it's like
Oh.
studying for an exam, right? Oh, I dreamed of an A, but I got an F because I didn't study.
Well, there's that. Yes. So there's another quote. Jesse Owens, who's a famous athlete, said, "We all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self discipline, and effort." So,
Yes, Jesse Owens. That was 1936 Olympics in Berlin.
yes.
Okay. Whew. All right. Oh, and speaking of that, I just answered a question. I have a trivia question for us today.
Okay. And then we'll get back to your subject.
Okay. All right.
Good. Let's
Ac-
hear it.
All right. According to Dr. Gary Wink of Ohio State University and Medical Center, what bedtime snack could you eat for pleasant dreams and a
Oh.
better night's sleep?
Well, I look forward to hearing the answer to that one.
I did too, and I tried it last night.
Okay.
I think it worked.
Okay.
Yes, and I didn't sleep like a baby because anyone who has had a small child doesn't, they know what sleeping like a baby means. You're up every two
Not
hours.
sleeping. Right.
You're
Right.
not sleeping, yes. Okay, so anyway, going to What is Your Dream by John C. Maxwell. He says, some people have been discouraged from dreaming by others. And I said, huh, what does that mean? Some people have been discouraged from dreaming by others. And he said, many people have their dreams knocked right out of them. The world is filled with dream crushers and idea
Mm.
killers. I
Hmm.
said, oh, okay. Well, I said, okay, that doesn't bode well, but all right. He
Mhm.
says, some people are hindered by past disappointments and hurts, where they then suppress their dreams because they figure, why should I even try? And I thought, huh. And then he says, some people get in the habit of settling for average. And you talked about dreaming big and
Mhm.
doing those things. He's talking about that. So he's really kind of telling us these are reasons why people do not follow up on their dreams or follow through with their dreams because they think it's too hard
Hmm.
or someone has taken out the wind of their sails. I'm thinking, wow. And so I said, maybe this isn't positive, but if you look at it in the reverse, it could be positive. Two more, and then we
Okay.
will go to you. Some people lack the confidence needed to pursue their dreams.
Mhm.
And I talk about self-efficacy all the time, where we have to build up that confidence. And I
Mhm.
think of the little kids struggling to make the team or to make the band or the orchestra, and they just don't think they're good enough. And so, see, I didn't make it. I wasn't good enough, and they
Mm.
believe that. I, I think we do that too often.
Mhm.
The last one is some people lack the imagination to dream. And I go, wow. And if you look at every kid, if I have never ran into a kid who didn't want to be a doctor, a cowboy,
Mm.
a,
A
a
football player.
nurse, a football player, exactly. And I'm thinking, wow, when do we grow up, so to speak, where
Mm-hmm.
we think that that's just child's play and we don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I I know I haven't.
Well, and that brings me to another quote by C.S. Lewis, who said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream."
That's right. Golly, yes, because and you know what? As and we're getting close to this time too, but as I tell people, we're not adults until we get to the age of 93.
Okay, how does that work?
That works because Nat King Cole told us that. When he sings the
Oh,
Christmas song, he says
okay.
to kids from 1 to 92.
He does say that.
So at 93, okay, we're an adult at 93. So
Oh,
I've
well,
got
my
a,
mom is 94, so I'm going to break the news to her, but she
uh-oh.
may not take it well.
All right. Okay. Well, I have a long way to go to get there, so I'm going to be a kid for a few more years.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay. How about you? What are you bringing to the table today?
Well, so since you're going through dreaming and goals, I thought I would talk about sleep dreaming and the roughly 7 types of dreams that you can have. So some say, 11, some say whatever, some tuck a few more under one topic. So, but Preston Nee in Psychology Today in 2020 shared these 7 types of dreams. Number 1, current or recent events, which is a very common dream. You just
Mm.
review current events in your dream. Now, also, just for what it's worth, they've determined that most dreaming is done in the REM sleep mode. So if you don't sleep well, and you don't get to the REM sleep, you probably won't dream. So, that number 2 is metaphysical or symbiotic dreams, which help us process life events.
Mm.
So, or metaphorical, excuse me, not metaphysical, metaphorical
Okay.
dreams. So we'll dream of something that actually is addressing something that's really going on in our life. Number 3, fantasy or comfort dreams, which are also fairly common, where you just have a dream vacation from your anxieties. You dream,
Oh.
that you're flying or something like that.
Ah.
Number 4, creative or problem solving dreams. And there's one person who is famous for this. Um, One of the most popular songs in history, one of the highest earning songs, excuse me, was written by Paul McCartney, who dreamt the melody to Yesterday, woke up and played a piano as soon as possible so he could remember it. And he
Mm.
assumed it was something he'd heard before because this had never happened to him. And about a year and a half later, he came up with the lyrics to the melody when he was on vacation. And so both of them came up during a relaxed state of mind, and that was the song Yesterday.
Wow.
So, and another fellow, James Watson, a Nobel Prize laureate, dreamt about snakes, which
Mm.
led to devising the structure of DNA, which, as you know, looks like 2 intertwined snakes.
It does.
So the
Oh,
fifth
that I
type of
can. I don't think I'll ever get that picture out of my head now.
snakes can be your friends. They can, manage a rodent problem in your vicinity. So they're not all bad. But
Uh-huh.
that's a topic for another day,
Okay.
clearly, which can lead into number 5, nightmares. So if snakes are an issue, you might experience nightmares.
Okay.
Number 6 is lucid dreams. And I did a little more research about those. And that's when you're aware that you're dreaming while you're dreaming. So you actually can control the dream action.
Mm.
And so I actually had one of those. Those are on the more rare side. Number 7, supernatural dreams. And these are also very rare. And the 4 types of those are when you have a premonition about something that does come true, or a telepathic type dream where you see something that's actually going on somewhere else. Shared dreams are when different people see the same dream. And then
Ah.
visitation dreams, when a person or pet who has died comes back to visit you in your dream.
Oh.
So, and I read a little bit more about that. So that's my jumping off point, but let's go back to you and your dreaming big.
Okay, well, let's go to the positive side because Maxwell
Yes.
led us down the 5 common reasons why people have trouble identifying their dreams. So I'm going to turn now to Chris Widener, who says that vision is the spectacular that inspires us to carry out the mundane. And here we go. She says 5 steps to achieve the life you've always dreamed of. First is you dream it. Just Dream it. And there's a
Okay.
I have a quote, and I don't know who said this. You may know who said this.
Okay.
Um, it's a quote that I have always remembered. It's a question. It says, "What is the best way to predict the future?" And the quote says, "Invent it." The
Okay.
best way to predict the future is to invent it. And I have always remembered that, and I liked it. Again, the podcast, I said, you know what? I want to have another radio show. I want to do it. I want to do something else. I don't know what it is. And boom, podcast jumped out in front of me. And here we are 2 years later, boom, doing the
Boom.
podcast.
Boom.
So I dreamed it. The second one is to believe it. And that goes counter to what Maxwell was suggesting was, you lose confidence. Well, have confidence, believe it, believe that you can do it.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Number 3, you have to see it. Now, I've had many daydreams where I saw myself doing things that I thought, ooh, I couldn't do, like flying a helicopter. And I took helicopter lessons, and I can fly a helicopter.
Right.
And standing in front of I can see myself standing in front of an audience, and I've done that many, many times now. But it brings me back, and I'm sure I've told you this before. I was at a conference once talking to a friend of mine that I would see in all of these same circles,
Mhm.
because he was kind of doing a motivational speaking like I was doing. And he told me, he said this one thing happened was funny. He says he went home to his wife one day and said, "Honey, can you believe what we're doing?" He said, "In your wildest dreams, did you ever believe that we would be able to do this?" And he said she told him, "Honey, in my wildest dreams, you don't even show up."
Whoa. Oops.
I'm sure I said that before, but that's okay. So she saw it, but
Worth
she didn't see it with
repeating.
him. Yes. Okay. Number 4, tell it. And I'm going to read this. It says, one reason many dreams never go anywhere is because the dreamer keeps it all to himself.
Ah.
It is a quiet dream that only lives inside his mind. The one who wants to achieve the dream must tell that dream to many people. And she says, one reason, as we continually say it, we begin to believe it more and more. If we are talking about it, then it must be possible. And another reason, it holds us accountable. When we have told others, it spurs us on to actually doing it so that we don't look foolish. And I thought,
It's a motivator then.
it's a motivator. Exactly. Yes.
Well, and also when you talked to me about your dream of doing another podcast, that having years ago, I thought about being a radio talk show host. And so in your talking about it to me, it opened up that memory for me and got us both on this path together.
Really? How fun, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. If you had never
Exciting.
brought that up, we would not be sitting here.
So tell it is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she says you have to plan it. Oh, of course you have to plan it. And that's putting everything in place, and you have to go through the steps and hey, all right, plan it. Now, here's something that I like to say, and it's on her paper or on her article, it's only 2 words.
Mhm.
But I have said it in 4 words, and I tell
Okay.
these 4 words to individuals when I talk to them in front of crowds, classes, or clients.
Mhm.
She says number 6 is to work it. And I like that because I always talk about you should work for, not at. That's those 4 words.
Mhm.
You work for an organization, you work for a company, you work for a whatever that is. Don't work at it.
Hmm.
Because if you work at it, that goes back up to what Maxwell is suggesting, that you settle and you just do the
Oh,
minimum. But if you work for, you're going for the bigger things,
okay.
and it embodies you. And I think to me, it's just a mental persuasion to have a different mindset.
Mhm.
So I'm going to work for, not at, because of work.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make
I
sense?
like it. Absolutely.
All right. Number 7, what you and I seem to do, she says, enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
When you have reached your goal and you are living your dream, be sure to enjoy it. I can't wait for Wednesdays to do the podcast with you.
Yay.
I can't. It's just fun, and I enjoy that. So, okay, going back to you because I'm looking at the clock and we have 20 minutes and six
Okay.
seconds on the clock.
Yikes. I'm going to do just a couple of items about dreaming. Number one, the most common dream per researchers is falling. I'm sure all of
Really?
us tripping down a step, falling down a step,
Ah,
falling.
okay.
Another study done in England in the 1950s said that only 28% of people at that time reported having dreams in color, but a 2008 survey said almost 100% dream in color. And guess what they attributed the color dreaming to? I'll tell you.
Okay.
Television, color TV.
Really?
Yes. Now, of course, I think that requires a little more research, but I thought that was fascinating.
So they're suggesting if you watched black and white TV, you dream in black and white? Is that what they're
More
saying?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Curious.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to talk about epic dreaming, which wasn't one of the ones I listed because, in fact, there are always more. And this is a rare disorder, actually, with not known cause or treatment, where you always dream. You go to sleep and you have endless and exhausted dreams,
Hmm.
often associated with moving, which creates daytime fatigue as well. And this happens even outside of the REM dream cycle. So hopefully you are not experiencing that. It was first identified in 1995 by Schenk and Mahowald, and there's not much yet they know to do about that.
So I shouldn't dream about running a marathon because I'll be tired when I wake up.
Well, certainly if you can't stop dreaming about running a marathon, you will be tired. Yes. Then I want to talk a
Okay.
little bit about lucid dreaming, which is again the dreaming state where you're aware that you're dreaming, because a lot of
Hmm.
people are trying to train themselves to be lucid dreamers. Um, estimated 55% of people have had one or more lucid dreams in their lifetime, and it can reduce anxiety and pressure. But 20% people have it monthly. Only 1% people have lucid dreams once or twice a week. And it can pose a risk for those who experience psychosis. So if you're trying to train yourself to be a lucid dreamer, think about it first. Think because there are some negative um, side effects that can be associated with it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing
But
those.
but for, but for
Any
what
more?
it's worth, if you're OCD, you may have more lucid dreams.
Oh, how about if you're CDO?
Okay, CDO,
That's that's
compulsive.
that's OCD alphabetized.
Then you are really a candidate for lucid dreaming. And then
Okay.
one final point, what can prevent dreaming? Alcohol, caffeine, anxiety. So
Oh,
those
so
are
so
issues.
are those suppressors?
Dream suppressors, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Then
Okay.
I just want to give one more quote because I know we're getting to the point where we need to start saying goodbye. And this is Vincent van Gogh, who said, "I dream of painting, and then I paint my dream." And I think that's like a lot of creative people who make their dreams a reality in both your category and my category.
And that bodes true to what the gentleman said. Something about he was a sculptor, and they said, "Well, how do you sculpt? How would you make an elephant?" And he says, "I remove all the parts that don't look like an elephant."
Yeah, yeah,
I thought, how cool is that?
that
Yes,
is.
very. And you know what? Kids do that.
Yeah.
Kids do. My pastor once said that if you went into a room of 25 adults
Mhm.
and said, "Who in here is an artist?" you might get one or two hands. He said,
Mhm.
but if you go into a room of kindergarten and say, "Who in here is an artist?" every hand will go up. And
Cool,
I think that is
cool.
so true, right?
That is cool. Yes.
We need to keep that fresh in our minds, that
Yep.
we need to be creative and imaginative like kids, and don't put the reality on it. Just, hey, dream it. it what did Chris Widener say? Tell it, plan it, work it, enjoy it, dream it, believe it, see it. Come on, we can do that. We should never stop dreaming.
Thank
I
you.
think. I
Thank
think.
you. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, okay, so the answer to the trivia question, Dr. Gary Went said, "What bedtime snack could you eat for pleasant dreams and a better night's sleep?" And as I told you last night, I tried it. It's a PBJ.
Really?
Really? I was shocked too. And I said, I have those ingredients.
The whole
And
sandwich, half a sandwich,
I he just said a PB and J, so peanut
peanut
butter and
butter and
jelly.
jelly.
I did it.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Well, and did you have any results?
Well, I did read an article on dreaming, and it says about 95% of people can't remember what they dreamed. So I
Ah,
woke up and I didn't remember what I had
ah,
dreamt, but
okay.
I was refreshed and ready to go. So I said, it must have worked.
Well, real quick before we get to a special announcement that you want to make is how have you ever maybe this is more of a female thing, wakened up about a dream where your spouse was doing something wrong and you were mad at them all day?
My wife did that.
I have done that.
I got an elbow in the side one night.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "What was that for?" And she goes, "I had a dream and I was mad at you."
Yep, that's not an uncommon dream. It
Okay.
requires more research, I'm sure. Okay. So,
It almost required stitches because I thought she cut me.
okay, so note to self, keep all knives out of the bedroom area.
That's right. Gosh. So anyway, yes. So the special. Oh, well, I have two special announcements.
Okay.
One is we now have 23 countries that have followed us.
Thank you for that
Thank you
announcement.
very, very much. The newest one is Ireland. I thought, wow,
Ireland.
yes. Golly, how cool is that? And
Yay.
and the other special thing, it's not special, but it certainly is celebratory. And I want to wish everyone who celebrates Thanksgiving
Ah,
a happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow. Absolutely.
thank you.
May you have a safe, sound holiday, and enjoy. Hug them tightly. Whoever it
Yes.
is, hug them tightly and let them
Yes.
know that you're thankful that they're in your life.
Well, and that gives me the final quote from James Dean, who said, "Dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today." Only in
Oh,
terms of appreciating what you have today.
thank you. That's cool. Very cool. Sheila, thank you.
Thank you,
And
Wayne.
would you take us home, please?
Again, we thank our listeners for making 95 podcasts possible.
Yes,
And we look forward to talking with you next week.
absolutely. Okay. Thanks a lot. See you
Bye
next
bye.
week. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Wayne.
Bye bye.